since we're in the trend of doing 5 things, let's do 5 things that a lot of people in Japan do after the New Year celebrations. Number 1, probably the biggest thing, is going to the shrine to pray for the new year. This is called Hatsumode, which is your first visit to the shrine. Now, you can go to one of the famous big shrines and wait for hours with crowds of people because I guess it's important to pray for the new year and buy your lucky charms and get your omikuji or your fortune. And a lot of times if you go to the shrine, you'll see lots of white paper tied around branches or on different like wire platforms, and those are fortunes. Usually people get their fortune, and if it's a fortune that they're not happy with or it predicts bad luck, they leave the bad luck there at the shrine and tie it onto the fence or the branch. But if it's a good one, which is marked by the Daikichi characters, then you want to save that. So let's hope that 2022 is a great year for everybody. Now, I didn't go to one of the major shrines. I did one year, and just the crowds were too overwhelming for me. So I Google mapped and I found a local shrine in my neighborhood only a 6-minute walk away. So I decided to set out on a little walking journey to find that shrine. And I'm glad I went because there were a few people there when I arrived, but after they left, I had the whole shrine to myself. So I was able to pray. I even cried a little bit. I got very sentimental or emotional, but it was great to have that peaceful time with just me and the gods at the shrine.
All right, this morning we are in search of our local neighborhood shrine, which according to Google Maps is a 6-minute walk from my house. So going past the neighborhood park, and oh joy, it looks like we have this massive staircase to climb. All right, here's to good heart health in 2022. Let's go. If you hear heavy breathing, it's me. Alright, this one isn't too bad. I walk 3 flights of stairs at work every day, so what am I complaining about? Alright, let's go find this shrine. Now, normally we'd cleanse our hands with water here, but I think because of COVID, they don't have it. So I got a little teary-eyed when I was praying at the shrine. I think it's just because we've had such a tough 2 years in the world. And I really want 2022 to be a better year for all of us. Not only health-wise, but just the way we deal with each other. And, you know, I know that we can't change everything in the world, but I think we're all tired. I think we're all struggling in different ways, and it's just, come on guys, we gotta get it together. So my hope is for a much better 2022. Alright, let's head back home.
The second thing that a lot of people do right after New Year's is read their New Year's cards. Now, I mentioned in a previous video how much time people spend making New Year cards, and then they send it around Christmas time or around the middle of December to make sure that it arrives on New Year's Day. And sure enough, New Year's Day in the morning, my New Year cards were there. And my students, bless their hearts, they bless me with so many cards and sentiments, and it's really nice to read what they have to say and see the creations that they've made, see their photos. Actually, I guess it's the parents sharing their photos with me, especially because I haven't been able to see a lot of my children's faces this year since we've been wearing masks all year round. So it's kind of nice to see them in photographs to see what they really look like. How many of you teachers can relate to that, not having seen your kids' actual faces during the school year? If you share that, comment down below. Anyways, I spent a nice leisurely morning looking through my New Year cards, sharing it with Mom, and they keep coming. I think on January 2nd, the mail deliverers have a break or a holiday, and it resumes again on January 3rd. So on January 3rd, I got another stack of New Year cards, and it's just so much fun to look over them. And they have special little cases that you can get at the 100 yen store or the dollar store, and you can put your postcards in there. And as I told you, you save them because at the bottom they have all those lottery numbers, and you never know if you might win something. I always laugh because the students that I get the ceremonial stamps from, I usually give that to them and say it was their card that won me the stamps, so they can have the stamps. We'll see how many lucky students there are this year. The third thing that people do is they go shopping. You know how after Christmas sales or Black Friday sales are in the US or in other parts of the world? You can imagine that that's kind of the scene on January 2nd, even though before in the past a lot of shopping malls and shopping centers stayed closed until January 4th, so they had basically 3 days of holidays. Nowadays, stores open on January 2nd, even sometimes January 1st. There are sometimes long lines of people lining up at their favorite shops to buy what is called a fukubukuro, and that's translated as a lucky bag or a bag of happiness. What it actually is what I would call a surprise package. It's when you go to the store and you buy something in a bag or a box or a special container, and inside are the contents equal to or even more than the amount of what you're paying for it. Some shops now, they show or picture what could be in the bag or what is in the bag, so that you're not just gambling away or throwing away your money. But other stores, it's totally a luck of the draw what you get. You might get a sweater or a shirt if you go to a clothing store. And I always wonder whether they're just the leftover surplus, or if they're actually items that were really popular and they put it in the bags. But there's other places too where you can get great gifts and great deals for paying perhaps 1,000, 5,000, or 10,000 yen, sometimes even more at the department stores. Sometimes you could win like huge trips, or you can win gigantic television sets. But of course you have to pay the money, and it's still a risk and a gamble. If I buy one of these lucky bags, I like to go to places like stationery stores or coffee shops or restaurants that I visit a lot, where you can get like gift cards or discount coupons for those restaurants or eateries. If you go to stationery stores, you sometimes get cute goods, and as a teacher, I always could use some cute stationery. So depending on what you like, you can buy one of these lucky bags and consider it kind of like a Christmas present or a New Year's present for yourself. Now, most of the bags disappear sometimes within a few minutes. So that's why when you go shopping like I am today, which is January 4th, you probably get the leftover bags. Some stores save the bags and put a little bit out at one time, but certain stores, they put it all out, and man, people just grab it. If you ever watch the news in Japan reporting about these lucky bag sales, you'll see people just zooming to get that one bag from their favorite store. And sometimes in the city areas, you'll see a lot of people that go and they buy tons of bags with their friends, and then they go outside the stores and they open the bags, and if they don't like what they have but they like what their friend has, they do exchanges or swaps. I'm sure if you look up on YouTube, you'll see lots of people opening their lucky bags, and the things that they don't want, Sometimes they share it with others. Sorry, I'm in the parking lot and I just saw a big old light shining. I was hoping it wasn't security saying, "Ma'am, what are you doing in your car?" So yeah, so shopping is a big thing. Another reason why shopping is really big here is because there is a custom in Japan of something called otoshidama. And that is giving the children or the younger people in your family little envelopes with money in them. They have special envelopes, cute envelopes that your grandparents or your parents will give to the children in the family with money. I don't know exactly how old or what is considered the stopping age of getting money. It's a custom that my family never participated in. But I do know most of my students do receive otoshidama, and I always have to tell them, please don't say how much money you got, because it's not something that you want to share, because I guess it depends on your family how much you get. And sometimes I think to myself, man, some of these kids rake in more than maybe my salary. It just depends. I mean, some children that have a lot of relatives, they'll get a lot more money and they save this money or they use it to buy something. And I guess maybe that's in exchange for Christmas presents, because since maybe Japanese families may not celebrate Christmas, yet they do give otoshidama and then take their children out to go shopping afterwards. I can see the trade-off, perhaps. That being said, there's a lot of bargain sales. There's a lot of sales at electronic stores and toy stores that are just calling out the names of those people or those children that got otoshidama. So I'm a little bit hesitant to go in today's shopping mall today, but I need a few things for school, so I decided today was the best day because the New Year holidays are technically over for the usual 9 to 5 working bunches. A lot of offices and companies reopen today, so it's a typical work day. Even the mall, it's a typical weekday, so they're not charging for the holiday parking. Yay! So we'll see how crowded it is, and we'll see how many lucky bags are still around for customers to buy. Number 4 is a lot of people after the New Year holidays watch a lot of television, including myself. A lot of the cable stations have marathon showings of different TV series or TV shows. They just pick a show and then they just show all the episodes in certain seasons. I also remember when I was living in Tottori, I was rather shocked at some of the New Year's programming. I think since then it's calmed down. I didn't realize that they could show a lot of nudity on television, and there were some games that people were playing. It was kind of like, it was kind of like a strip poker sort of things. I don't really remember, but I was just kind of shocked. And then they had these little battles in the swimming pool where people would just try to do anything to get a ball or to get something. And so bathing suits were flying off. I know everybody's like, what happened to that television show? But now they have a lot of variety programming. They have a lot of sporting events. They also show like bloopers or song contests. And after I see all those different song contests, it really makes me want to go to karaoke soon. I haven't went for over 2 years because of the situation in the world. So not that I can sing, please. You guys saw how awkward I was at dancing. My singing's even worse. And number 5, the last thing that I've noticed that people in Japan do after the New Year's is the same thing of what I do, is eat. Eat and eat and eat. That being said, they do have a special day on January 7th where you eat a special rice porridge. It's to cleanse out your stomach. It's a very bland rice porridge with different herbs on it, and it's one of my favorite meals. But I think it's a great tradition to splurge and enjoy yourself over the New Year's holidays, but then realize that it's time to come back down to earth, get your stomach back in order, and get back to practicing all those healthy habits that you made resolutions to. Speaking of New Year's resolutions, did you do any? I don't. Actually, I take that back. I do the same New Year's resolution that I do every year, and I've been doing this for the past, 40 years of my life. I always say that I'm going to live each day to the fullest as if it were my last, and live my life without any regrets, take in every moment and learn from every situation I can, and be grateful for the things that I have. And that philosophy has carried me through every year, during struggles, during hard times, sad times, bad times, fun times, happy times, trying times, whatever. When I was walking up the hill coming back from the shrine, I was doing an Instagram story, and afterwards I thought, God, I sound like such a badass, but I'm really not. I think it's great to have the mindset of going to conquer all your fears and get through a new year, but I think there's also times to understand that sometimes things don't go the way that you plan, or there are disappointments. I think it's just a part of life to have disappointments and sadness, as well as happy moments and, treasured moments. And you have to really make sure that you treasure those moments while you are still alive, and while the people and animals and things that you care about are still in your life. So that's my resolution for this year. I do have a couple of little ones that I make, but that's something I don't really resolve to do. It's something I should be doing every day. Anyways, before I keep on rambling, I'm going to go into the store and go check out and see what bargains they have. I'm going to be in and out of here in as soon as possible, because I want to continue to stay safe, and I have lots to do before work starts on a Saturday. So thank you so much for being here. If you'd like to continue on this journey with me and just see random parts about Japan, or learn a little bit more about teaching in Japan, or you just like seeing what it's like to be a senior going through life, please consider subscribing, because we'd love to have you in our community. Thank you so much to this community that has welcomed me, embraced me with open arms, and has helped me through a lot of difficult times. Being an introvert and being very quiet, sometimes it's hard to express your feelings. And my mom always says, Kim, I don't know why you can't express your feelings to certain people, but you can go spread them out there to the world. But I don't know. That's another mystery of life to me. Anyways, take care. Let's get January off to a great start. Stay healthy, keep safe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.